Welcome to Bears in Exile. Today is Wednesday, August the 22nd, and this is the market overview looking at the Dow, SPX, VIX, TNA, UUP, FXE, GLD, SLV, and everything else that we look at. It was a very interesting day in the market. Continuation of the down move that started on Tuesday. And then Ben got on the microphone and saved it. Saying that QE3 not only on the table, but on the table soon. And should there be any deterioration in the economy, that it's going to be thrust out there. Very interesting. I mean, we're at the highs, and they're talking QE3. So very, very curious. Essentially, to sum up, today ended us with a poor-looking daily outlook and a positive-looking 60-minute outlook, which is something we're not strangers to. A couple of weeks ago, that was the outlook for just about every night. We'd have a fight: red-looking daily, green-looking 60-minute, and then flip. Red-looking 60-minute, green-looking daily. So, here we are with the Dow, ending with a hammer, possible reversal candle. We had the downtick last night. It was resolved intraday today. Very cool. Only took 1 day, not 4. And now we have to see what it wants to do next. And like I was saying, the daily looks rather poor. We have the bearish cross of the MACD histogram going negative. Up on the RSI, up on the 14-day RSI moving average, but down on the stochastics, down on the CCI, and going to the 60-minute. It looks good. You can see the bottoming area in the heat map, and it bounced right away. Histogram moving on up. MACD moving up, RSI small downtick, up on the stochastics, up on the CCI, and the 14-day RSI moving average is low and ready to turn. So 60-minute time frame, absolutely looks pretty darn good, and daily, it looks pretty darn bad. So how about that? And SPX, we had the downtick last night. Right there. And before Ben came out, it put in a very valiant effort to resolve itself. It did fall short by a few points, but still pretty nice movement. And daily looks not as bad as the Dow. We don't have the bearish cross yet. And the stochastics are not as steep or well-defined to the downside. MACD histogram, of course, is not negative, so not as bad as the Dow, absolutely. And 60-minute time frame looks more bullish than the Dow does. Look at that huge ramp job, courtesy of Ben. And yes, there's more development to the upside in all of the indicators in the 60-minute time frame. 60-minute time frame does not look poor at all. And moving on to the VIX. And it should be noted that the futures are up about 4 points at this moment. So this view of the VIX could easily change before morning gets here. But we ended with a spinning top structure, closed above the closing of yesterday, which is pretty darn strong. Still in a bottoming area in the heat map, moving up, looking for a bullish cross on the MACD, moving up on the histogram, RSI, CCI, and the stochastics. Only the 14-day RSI moving average still pointing down. Considering the ramp job, this did fantastic. and which is very, very against the movement that we had at the end of the day. But 4 points up on SPX after hours. This could, just gap down and then it'll change the entire view. But from a closing basis, this looks pretty darn good, and the daily doesn't look poor. 60-minute time frame, we can see where the ramp job occurred right here, and notice it didn't really slip that much. It does look negative. CCI going down, stochastics going down, histogram sloping down, MACD ticking down, 14-day high already ready to turn, RSI kind of just hanging out. So really not a bad showing on the VIX whatsoever. Is that a tell? It's a good question. It certainly could be, but the futures just have me a little bit hesitant about it. But not bad. And TNA. Been talking about looking for downticks. We did not have a downtick on TNA yet. We got it today. Boom. Very nice. Bearish perspective. Really like that. Not that it means that much. I mean, the downtick gives us a target right there at 55. Just over $1 from where it is now. But this one just did not do anything with that ramp job. So small caps, not doing too well. Moving down on the histogram, moving sideways on the MACD, slight down on the RSI, down on the stochastics, down on the CCI, up on the 14-day RSI moving average. And if we look at the 60-minute time frame, you can really see there was the ramp job, and it just barely was able to creep up. Just barely. So weak in comparison. And it does look positive in the 60-minute time frame, with histogram moving up, stochastics attempting to move up, sideways on the CCI, down on the 14-day RSI moving average, sideways on the RSI, still pointing down on the MACD. I mean, potential for positive, but nothing like the Dow, nothing like SPX. So, you don't have the small caps on board. Can you really, really trust the up movement? But, I mean, Ben was very emphatic. QE3, soon. They kept stressing soon. So, guess we'll see. Now, there's one other thing that was very interesting today. UUP, the dollar. This thing just, this thing got annihilated. And it was down huge at the open. And the market still went down really good. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. And then Ben came out, and then it really tanked. I mean, so far outside the lower Bollinger Band. I mean, the euro is now in the 1.25s, which is crazy. But it is what it is. And certainly just massacring this line of support that had held multiple times. Certainly we're in a bottoming area in the heat map, but that can drag on a little while. Everything is ticking down just like last night. And we thought it would come, to the side or up because it was totally outside the lower Bollinger Band. And it did. It started that way and just fell to pieces. But the more important thing is, with this kind of a move, just with this kind of a gap, we should have been up over 100 points. And then with this kind of a move to the downside, it should have been up, 200 points on the Dow. And the Dow is red. Very, very weird. 60-minute time frame. Just ran right through it, continued going down, and yeah, we have positive divergence, all over the place on pretty much everything, but nothing's really getting underway to move to the upside either. So very, very strange. And now in the daily as well, you have positive divergence that takes it back up to this level right here, 22.55. Very, very unusual. And FXE, the euro. Interesting, it is not a gap up like UUP, but it is bullish engulfing. I mean, huge, way outside the upper Bollinger Band, starting to make a topping area, and everything ticking up. We do have negative divergence in the daily. What is there to say? 60-minute time frame. It's just like UUP, but in reverse. There's nothing here that is really saying it's time for it to roll over, even with this move. You do have negative divergence, but I guess we'll see when that plays out. Very unusual. CompQ, the NASDAQ. We had the slightest of slight downticks last night. Didn't even really attempt to resolve it, unlike essentially everything else out there. Ending with a spinning top, still in the topping area in the heat map. Attempting to roll in the, ticking down on the histogram, moving down on the stochastics, moving down on the CCI, but moving up on the MACD, RSI, 14-day RSI moving average. Very, very strong. Very strong. 60-minute doesn't look bad. Daily doesn't really look bad. It's going to catch up to it someday, but no indication that that's going to be tomorrow. Apple, another extremely strong day. I'm sure taking the NASDAQ right with it. And there's no real problems with this in the daily. It was able to close inside the upper Bollinger Band, unlike 2 nights ago. It is in a warning area in the heat map. Moving down on the CCI once again. And stochastics holding high, 14-day RSI moving average holding high. RSI holding high and ticking up on the MACD, which it should. So, no problems with Apple. And I've been hesitant to say that Apple has any problems this whole time because people run to it. Even when we had those downticks back here, I was just like, I don't think that it really looks bad or anything. And today, it doesn't look bad. And GE, trying to get a better read on the Dow. We were saying last night we had the downtick resolve on Monday or whatever it was. And we had the ugly looking day. We said that it was conducive to further weakness. And sure enough today, it gapped down, it closed lower, it's a spinning top. And how does the daily look? Well, the daily doesn't look that good. Moving down on the CCI, moving down on the stochastics, moving down on the MACD histogram, moving up on the RSI and the 14-day RSI moving average. It doesn't look like it's going to, fall through the long-term moving average bar or anything. It doesn't look healthy. It's made a new recent low today, which is bearish. But, that should be retested at a minimum. But, not looking bad, but not looking drastically bad. Bar retest is only going to go down here to about 22.6 or just above, so less than 20 cents to the downside. It just isn't a huge warning sign to me that GE is going to drag the Dow down with it. It participated in the ramp job today. It is positioned pretty well for a movement up in the 60-minute time frame. So yeah, this one doesn't look poor. And JP Morgan. Been watching this one really close. We weren't impressed by its candle yesterday. Said that it looked like a possible issue. Today being red, spinning top. And other than that, it doesn't look good either. It doesn't look drastically horrible. I still have the 14-day RSI moving average moving up. You have disagreement in the stochastics. You're moving down on the CCI, moving up on the RSI, moving up on the MACD, and moving down on the MACD histogram. It is very mixed. Most everything is pretty darn high and needs to roll over, but we have some indication of rolling over, but we don't have everything indicating a rollover. So very questionable. I still think it has problems with the 200-day. I haven't seen any real strength since leaving it. I'm sure it can alleviate that in time, but at the moment, I think it's still in a problem area. And XLF, the financials as a whole. We were talking last night about looking for a downtick. We still don't have one. That would have been great if we did. Would have been a tell. We don't have it. We have a spinning top. Very similar to JP Morgan. Everything is at a point where it should try to roll over, and a few things are, but everything isn't trying to roll over. So this isn't bad yet. Hopefully we'll get a signal soon, but it's not here right now. And USO oil. Oil is just incredible. Fat body spinning top, getting close to the 200-day moving average. Is it going to get there? I don't know. Everything is high. Everything is high, but it's all maintaining the high position. So we don't have anything here that says now is the time for it to roll over. As long as this is doing really good, it's going to help the market. So nice green day today. Maybe it'll be different tomorrow. And GLD, wow, that QE3 stuff just sent this thing on a rocket, closing above the 200-day moving average. I mean, this, it was testing this previous high last night. We didn't know if it would be a double top or if something else would happen. Well, something else definitely happened, namely Uncle Ben. Massive spike in the heat map. Everything is pointing up. I don't know if it's going to have problems with this 200-day or not, but I mean, the futures are up pretty darn good. So people are believing that the dollar is going to continue going down. QE3 is on its way. Then hey, maybe this thing is going to continue on its way as well. And SLV, more of the same. And interesting, it came right to this previous high right here. So double top on silver, maybe outside the upper Bollinger Band, not to the 200-day moving average yet, and everything essentially identical to gold, and a big blip in the heat map. Yes, it could be at a problem area, but I don't know if it's going to bust that tomorrow or not. Seems likely, but And I think that's just about going to do it. Tomorrow is going to be very, very interesting. So much stuff to be released right at the open or just after. Definitely going to move the markets. But now that Ben says QE3 soon, maybe immediately, should economic conditions deteriorate, bad news could be good news. And we're just going to have to see. As always, all investing decisions are your own. This chart and video for entertainment, educational, and consumption of time purposes only. Thank you.